After Brickwatch Chicago and a quick trip to Disneyland, I am finally back in my room. So I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions for me, and here's what you gave me. Because to be honest, I kind of need to get back in the flow and like the role of making videos, and I needed something that was a little less demanding on the editing front to do. So thank you guys in advance for helping me out. That being said though, it is really nice to be surrounded by my stuff again, and I do feel quite inspired. I just really need to get into the swing of things again. But kicking things off today, PNG Bricks wants to know, how hard is it to travel and be a LEGO ambassador? We are impressed. I mean, firstly, I picked this question because I think the answer is kind of funny. Secondly, just to clear things up, because I have had quite a few people assume that I am a LEGO ambassador. I'm not anymore. I was for a while and I no longer am. And funnily enough, it was me trying to balance travel and being a LEGO ambassador that ended up me not being in the program anymore. So I thought that was kind of funny. Also, in the theme of traveling, Jordan wants to know if I'm a window or aisle seat when I fly. Now, I always do window for like international flights. So like if I'm flying to the US and I'm going to like LA, Dallas, San Francisco, whatever, I always book the window for those flights because then I can just like lean on the window if I get tired, or in some cases there's like extra storage next to the window. However, on any like short domestic trips, just like within the US, within Australia, within Europe or whatever, I'm an aisle person just because I want that little bit of extra space and I want to be able to get off the plane faster. Bricks and Biz wants to know how I rate Galaxy's Edge. Is it a cash grab or a cool in-depth experience? I mean, look, I really love Galaxy's Edge. I love Batuu. I was blown away the first time I ever saw it, and also it was really quiet the first time I ever saw it because like Rise of the Resistance just went to like a standby queue. So the whole land was just completely absent and I loved every second of it. It was really beautiful to see the Falcon and just see, I mean, the rides as well. They were really fun. The Honda animatronic was incredibly impressive. The little shopping district. The food there is also really good. I love a lot of the merchandise that they have for offer, and then these days too, the amount of characters that are walking around. Look, honestly, it was less than I expected, but it is really cool just to have them wandering around. Like, I had such a cool character interaction with Rey because I was wearing like my little Leia cosplay and she saw it and it was really sweet. However, at the end of the day, it's really clear to me how much of a cash grab I guess Galaxy's Edge is. I think it's done really well, like don't get me wrong, I think it's way better than Avengers Campus, but it is clear as day that they tried to copy like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Universal's thing by having Jedi robes and droids and lightsabers and just that whole thing of getting people into the land and then getting them to buy things in order to like experience it. Like Harry Potter, I bought a robe, I bought a wand, like it's part of the experience, as well as all of like the strictly Harry Potter foods and like the Harry Potter themed drinks. I mean, Star Wars has got like the little like Coke cans, but I just don't think it quite hit it the way that Harry Potter did. That being said, I built a lightsaber and it was amazing, and I recently bought a chopper droid as well. So I kind of, I guess, have had the full Galaxy's Edge experience at this point. It is really cool, but there are definitely some aspects of it that are a little bit of a cash grab, but if you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to love it. Tascat wants to know, what is my skincare routine? I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of like fluctuating between a little bit of things. For the most part, I've been using like this Benzac cream just to get rid of like the small bits of acne that I have. I've also been using this scrub and a lot of like the Ordinary's niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. And of course, just moisturizer. I try and keep things very simple. And then as for my hair, I've decided to try something new, which is the MD hair kits. They sent me through a couple of their hair care things because ever since I had like my depression and like kind of got diagnosed with anxiety, I realized that I was losing a lot of hair just strictly to stress. Like I would be straightening my hair and I would just see like chunks of it. I know it's gross, it's bad. So I've really been trying to work on my hair's health, especially since I have to dye my hair to keep it as like blonde as I was as a kid. So like it's not being treated the best. So I've really been trying to make it just a little bit stronger and try and get some of that hair growth back. So the way it works is you fill out a little quiz online and basically detail your hair goals and what your scalp and your current hair is like, and they will pick out custom products and custom formulas to help you reach those goals. In the little kit I got from them, there is supplements as well as shampoo, conditioner, and this little serum, which I have just started using ever since I got home, and so far it has been really nice. If you want to try out MD Hair for yourself, you can use code HOLLY70 to get 70% off your first month of treatment. Thank you to MD Hair for sponsoring this video, and one more thing actually as well that I have been doing to try and help my hair out is every single night now I try and like tie it up or braid it when I go to bed so that it's not like getting stuck under my shoulders when I'm asleep. I am just really trying to take better care of my skin and my hair, and so far it's been going great. Dom wants to know if I'm gonna make the rest of the Taylor Swift album covers in Lego art. At first I didn't think about doing it, but after I did Midnights and after I brought it to Brickworld and kind of saw everyone's reaction, I would really like to. I just don't know, I guess, like when I'm going to be able to, when I'm gonna get the time to. I would also have to order quite a lot of like round 1x1 pieces, I think, to finish the rest of them, but I especially would really like to try and do like Reputation's cover. I definitely don't think I'm gonna be able to do them all at once because that sounds like an expensive venture, but it is something I've thought about. I just haven't made up my mind yet. And speaking of Brickworld Chicago, Nathan wants to know, will I be displaying it next year? I absolutely will. At least I want to. I mean, I don't have any MOCs at the moment to bring to Brickworld Chicago next year, but that is like my goal right now. I'm like, I want to be able to display every single year because it was really good to just like have a place to be and put my stuff down and be like, hey, if you want to see me or see my builds, here's where they are. It just made my whole weekend just a little bit easier because last year I was kind of just wandering around and like it was fun and all, but there were some times where I was just like, you know, I'd like to sit down and chill for a bit, and having a space to display allowed me to do that, as well as just like, I guess, be a part of the show a little bit more. So I have some plans. My goals are 1, to have a MOC that I can light up for World of Lights, and 2, have a MOC that gets nominated for an award. I'd like to be nominated. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but I would like to. RSD says that he's noticed a dip in the Lego content being pushed out by many creators and asked for my thoughts. I definitely have felt this too. I mean, for myself, I definitely have noticed that I'm uploading a lot less. And a large portion of that just comes to the fact that I have been traveling and I have not had as much time to actually just like sit down and film and like be around my stuff and execute a lot of the ideas that I've had. I also though, however, don't want to be posting daily anymore. I did that for a long time and then I kind of cut down and started doing like 5 days a week or things like that, but I feel like I've finally settled on the fact that I would really just like to upload maybe 3 times a week, twice a week, just so that you guys have a little bit of breathing room, because I think it can get very overwhelming. So I feel like uploading a select few times a week would help with that, but also it would allow me to spend more time on each video to make sure that they're better than they have been. I mean, something like a Q&A is a lot more low effort than I guess some of my other videos, which I really want to make, but those are quite a time sink. So I guess having more time to complete them all would make it a lot easier as well. But I know for other people, I just feel like everyone seems like a little bit burnt out. Now, I don't know this personally. I mean, I only spoken to a couple of content creators, and some people have had said the same thing, or that they're just finding it really hard to, I guess, like get going with videos. Everyone's feeling very inspired, but it's really hard, I guess, to get the motivation to keep going. Aquablocks wants to know what August 1st sets I'm most excited for. I mean, it's just straight up, first up, No Way Home. I am so excited for the No Way Home set. I have like wanted this for so long. I've wanted an Andrew Garfield minifigure for so long, and there was no way I was gonna buy that Comic-Con version. I'm sorry, even my PS4 Spider-Man that I bought once, like that amount of money on a minifigure, I couldn't. It was cool to own him for a period of time, but it was just ridiculous to me. I am not someone that can justify spending that amount of money on a minifigure. So the fact that there's a new Andrew Garfield minifigure in that set makes me so happy. I have problems with the set. It's not perfect, but I have not felt so excited for a Marvel set in so long, and I just cannot wait to get my hands on this thing and build it. That being said, I'm not going to be buying it on release day because I don't have any plans to make a video or to make content out of it. So to me, I should probably just wait a little bit and wait for it to go on sale or something like that. But I will be buying that in August. Otherwise, from Star Wars, there's not really too much that like I'm super excited for. I mean, Yavin's pretty cool, but same deal. Like I'm not paying full price for that, and the battle pack, it's fun, but again, I'm not paying full price for that. I'll probably buy most of the Star Wars sets eventually. Maybe honestly, I'll just buy like Boba Fett's mech on day 1 just so I can get the new Boba minifigure and call it a day. Street Samurai wants to know when I'm doing custom Barbie and Ken figures. Okay, I'm so annoyed that I didn't think of this idea earlier. I wish I had thought about it and drawn them up like several months ago so that they could be ready for like right now when the movie comes out. However, I am really happy to say that I have drawn up, of course, the custom cowgirl Barbie. I mean, how could I not? I literally like have the Barbie doll. I used her as a reference, as well as all the photos that I used to reference my costume. It just felt like something that needed to happen. So I'm glad to know the design is done. I have ordered all the parts. They're gonna be sent off for printing. Like, I've literally got like a couple of arms and her hairs here. I'm really excited for her. I'm only doing a limited batch of 30 though, just to start with. If she does really well, I'll draw more, I'll restock, and I might do a Ken as well. But for the moment, I am just gonna be doing a Barbie, and she will be available when she releases on HollyOnFilm.com. I will let you know on Instagram. I'm really excited and really proud of her. So I hope you guys like her too when she hopefully is done in like early August, mid-August, something like that. Average Human was wondering, how was Rogers the Musical? I absolutely loved it. The second they announced it, I really wanted to go and see it, and I feel so lucky that the trip I had booked was like the weekend it opened at Disney's California Adventure. I was so excited because especially I met one of you guys and you came up to me at the parks and told me how amazing it was, and I wanted to go and see it. So we managed to get in, we were on the floor, and it was so good, and it just reminded me why I loved the MCU and brought back like all of my favorite memories and all of my favorite parts of the universe. And I just love musicals as well. So for me, it was amazing. Username and a bunch of numbers is about to make me very sad, as they asked, did I get Taylor Swift tickets? No, and I spent almost an hour trying to guess like Crown rewards codes so that I could get in and buy some. I had a horrible experience. I was literally at Disneyland trying to get through and I failed. So I'm now gonna try and get tickets for the London shows and use that as an excuse to go and like visit my grandparents. And I'm gonna try and get tickets when they like release them on resale. But at this point, I don't think I'm gonna get any, and I am really, really upset. I was so excited. My mom literally bought like the friendship bracelets like pack, and now we don't get to go. So that sucks. The Lone Clone wants to know, how many Star Wars Rebel figures do you have, and will you make a video about them? I don't think I'll make a video about them necessarily. However, at this point, I do have quite a lot. So let me take you over to my little Rebels shelf. So at this point, I have all of the main Rebels crew in all of their different variations of outfits, which is really fun. I also have a duplicate of Hera, which is pretty cool. I finally got Blind Kanan. I also have Agent Kallus, the Grand Inquisitor, the Fifth Brother, and Grand Moff Tarkin. And of course, the crown jewel of my Rebels collection is Ahsoka herself. I also have Thrawn, which is pretty cool, and at this point the only ones that I would still want that I'm missing are kind of like all of the clone troopers, but at the same time their like head color doesn't match what they now are, so I'm just like holding off on them making like a new Rex, a new Wolf. I also now have both of the Phantoms as well as the Ghost, and I'm happy with just like the 3 sets that I have. I absolutely love them, and they did cost a lot of money, so like I'm not really interested in getting any more of like the Rebel sets. The minifigures have really been where it's at for me, and the fact that I am able to have this Rebels collection makes me incredibly happy. And a major portion of that as well is thanks to Christian, who gifted me Rebels Ahsoka, Grand Moff Tarkin, the Fifth Brother, as well as like Sabine in her helmet. It was just absolutely incredible and so generous of you to do that, and I am incredibly grateful, because otherwise I wouldn't have this really cool Rebels collection. But if you want a video on my Rebels stuff, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do a proper like little walkthrough of everything. Which, speaking of my Rebels shelf, Geekfly Love wants to know if I brought home any Star Wars souvenirs. I mean, I guess outside of the ones that I got from Brickworld Chicago, which there's a whole video on that if you want to see that, I did get a couple of things. Firstly, 2 kyber crystals that I got from the little like lightsaber store within Galaxy's Edge. I picked up the yellow one, I guess to like have Rey's lightsaber color, as well as white. I saw that they had white, and I was just kind of asking them if they had white and if that was a thing, and then they just like added it to the total, and I was too embarrassed to say no, actually. So I bought 2 kyber crystals. I mean, I want to get all of the colors eventually. I was just gonna spread it out a little bit, so that was funny and my own fault. But my big purchase, however, was the chopper droid from the droid depot. I went in knowing that I really wanted this, and in fact I asked a bunch of people on Instagram if they knew anything about the droids, because it's not something I'd done a lot of research into. And shout out to Rod and shout out to Jillian, who like really went into detail about the droids and like the whole system and the character chips and like all of that, because it made it so much easier. Turns out I just needed to buy the droid off the shelf, but I didn't know that there was like so many customization options, so that was really cool and very helpful. And I like put Chopper on the floor and made it like chase my dogs. They hated it. It was so funny and I felt so bad, but like I was really enjoying chasing them with this droid. Theater is My Life wants to know if I think I'm gonna get the Cinderella Castle remake, and honestly I don't know. I really want it, but at first like I hated the set just because it was so similar to the one I already have, and that one is such a personal set for me. It was the largest Lego set that I had ever bought my first direct-to-consumer set. I also bought it because I was guilty for breaking up with my boyfriend at the time, and I just wanted like something to take my mind off things. And then that like ended up down spiraling, I guess, into me having a YouTube channel and a job that is based off Lego. So to me, it's a really personal set, and like I can't get rid of it. I don't want to sell it because of that reason. But also I know that if I bought this new one, like I would break that down. I can't have two of these on display, but it's just so similar that like I just can't bring myself to buy it. And if I did, it would be on double VIP points. But also, let me say, I will get the princesses no matter what, whether it's like me buying the set in general, or if it's just me buying the princesses of Bricklink. I will not let those slip through my fingers. That being said though, for anyone who doesn't know, like if you get an ideas project that hits 10,000 supporters and it doesn't get selected, you get a budget of like $500 US to go and pick, I think it's like up to three sets that you can get as like a congratulations type of thing. So if Monsters Inc. doesn't get selected, which it will, and I keep saying that so that it will happen. I feel like if I just say it enough, like it's going to happen. But if it doesn't happen, I figured probably I should get like the Disney Castle as like one that takes up a lot of the budget that you get allocated. But two, I mean, the set that I submitted was a Disney set, and then that set I guess can have like a really sentimental meaning to me. It's still, I guess, like Disney related. It's also a set that I really want and just at this point like cannot justify buying. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense. However, Monsters Inc. will get approved and will be selected. But right now though, I just cannot justify spending that amount of money and also getting a set that's gonna take up that much space when I basically have the set already, just in like a different color scheme. Lara Loves Lego wants to know when I will be back on Twitch. I will be back. I just definitely will not be back as frequently. So for anyone who doesn't know, I had a contract with Twitch for 3 months and it was amazing. We streamed a ton. However, they did not renew, I think, anyone from Legos actually. So now basically I'm just gonna continue streaming on Twitch, but not as frequently. I think I'll try and do like maybe 1 or 2 live streams on YouTube a month, and then like maybe 1 a week on Twitch. I haven't quite figured out how I want that schedule to work, but I still definitely want to continue streaming on Twitch because I thought it would be a really good idea just for me to practice mock building by having like a weekly thing where I just like practice building my mock or make progress on my mock, because I really enjoyed streaming on there. It was such a fun platform and I had a great time, and I think it was just a lot more interactive than YouTube was. However, I just cannot justify sinking like tons of time into it because I would rather put that time into making videos. But I will be back, and it will probably be once every single weekend, whether that be like Saturday or Sunday, but I constantly keep the schedule updated on Twitch. So if you haven't checked me out on there, come join us. It's a lot of fun. Alves wants to know what I think of the new SpiderMan Art Lego set. He has a flat butt. To be honest, that was like my first thought when I saw it. I was like, why is his butt so flat? Look, I know not every superhero can be like double cheeked up, but man, he just looks like he has a flat butt, and it's so distracting. I don't know, I've got really mixed feelings of the set because like part of me really likes it, but there's just something off and like uncanny about it, and I'm putting it down to the butt. But at the same time, I think like just like the whole Spider-Man body doesn't look quite right. It feels like it's missing like a few details or whatever. I'm definitely not gonna get it, but I do quite like it, and I think it's a lot better than the modern art set that they did. Maticus wants to know, am I planning any new MOCs? Yes, absolutely I am. I mean, I kind of alluded to this throughout the whole video, but I am planning on building a Lego version of the Barbie dream house from the movie because 1, I love Barbie. 2, that movie has pretty much become my entire personality at this point, and 3, I think it would be really meta. So I found out that Mega Bloks did like a version of it, which I would really like to get. However, I want to have like an official Lego one, and I mean, if I'm having a custom Barbie minifigure made, she's gonna tie in really nicely with this mock too. So like this is basically what I want to try and bring to Brickworld Chicago next year. I bought a ton of plates and slides and like plan on ordering like a ton of pink pieces so I can try and replicate this in Lego because I just think it'll be really fun. It's something like unique. You don't really see it all that often, and then if I bring it to a convention too, it's something for the people who probably didn't want to be there, which I would like to try and give them something to like feel excited about if they go to a convention. So I'm really excited to start it, and if I do start it as well, the progress is going to be made on Twitch. Look at that, everything is like linking up. I'm so smart. The HollyOnFilm ecosystem, guys, I'm telling you, I am just on point right now. But those are all of the questions for today. As you can see, I have a lot of really big plans and videos and just things like that. And I've just really, I guess, got to get the ball rolling. So if you haven't followed me on Twitch, you should do that if you want to see the progress of my Barbie mock in real time. I do plan on doing videos on all of them as well, but you know, I've got a lot of things going on in like the whole like cinematic universe, I guess, of my life. So, you know, it's gonna be a lot and I'm excited to get back into it. I've really just gotta like keep going, get into the swing of things, which is what I'm struggling with right now. But this video will help. So thank you. If you want to ask me a question too, next time I do a Q&A, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I just feel like I've plugged all my accounts at this point. This is really bad. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time, I'll see you later.